We never announced the movement Ohio-class
I was
submarine.
just going to ask you, what is to be gained by making an announcement like this? Is he just trying to cause Putin sleepless nights?
Well, I don't think Putin's going to cause sleep. But to make this announcement, first of all, it's foolish because all you're doing is giving credence to the legitimacy of the dead hand. I mean, the dead hand, again, only exists and only becomes viable if the United States launches a preemptive nuclear strike against Russia. And redeploying Ohio-class submarines close to Russia's shores indicates that that's what you're doing. So, the Russians are going to be doing something in return. This is where it gets stupid because now they have to do something in return. Hopefully they don't announce it and make a big deal of it, but they do it in a way that we detect it and we know what they've done. The tweet he's responding to is one from Dmitry Medvedev, in which Medvedev sort of mocked the president as
Medvedev is the former president of Russia, who's the number 2 person on their National Security Council.
Right.
Who in recent years has been more publicly bellicose than President Putin.
What's even more outrageous is that Donald Trump doesn't understand what Medvedev tweeted. Medvedev was telling Trump to knock it off with the dangerous threats, saying that, if you do this, America can end up looking like the Walking Dead because of the dead hand. The dead hand is a reference to the perimeter system, which is a defensive system put in place by the Soviet Union back in the 1980s, so that if they are ever struck preemptively by the United States, a first strike, by the way, the tactic to be used in a first strike is to bring Ohio-class submarines close to Russia's shores, fire off their Trident missiles on a flattened trajectory to avoid detection so you can strike the targets quicker, which is what Trump just actually appeared to order the U.S. Navy to do. So the dead hand now becomes a factor because if Trump is dumb enough to launch an attack against Russia, the dead hand, the perimeter system, will ensure that all of Russia's strategic nuclear forces will be fired against the United States, even if Trump takes out Putin, the National Command Authority, etc. I know this is a fact. When I was a weapons inspector in Votkinsk, there was a missile crisis in March of 1990 because the Russians were trying to get 3 missiles out of the factory without us turning on the cargo scan X-ray system. Why? These weren't 3 SS-25 missiles. They don't care if we see those. These were 3 of what they call Sirena. These were modified SS-25s, not to carry nuclear warheads, but to carry the radio equipment that's used to broadcast the codes. They needed to get these missiles out and deployed and ready so that the perimeter system was alive and well and living. The dead hand is only defensive in nature. Trump should feel no threat from this unless he's planning on attacking Russia. This is the insanity. This president doesn't even know what he's doing. And he's responding to a mean tweet from a guy who's been me tweeting for years now. I mean, I think most people, view Dmitry Medvedev's tweets with sort of, humor. Yeah, they hurt sometimes. He's very good at what he does. But he's not the president of Russia. He doesn't command Russia's military nuclear forces. He doesn't direct the Russian economy. He advises Vladimir Putin, but he is not Vladimir Putin. So to treat Medvedev as if his tweets actually will translate into action is, childish behavior, but in this case, dangerously childish, because he's literally putting 2 U.S. nuclear submarines on a combat patrol against Russia. Let's say I'm a Ohio-class submarine commander, a captain, and I'm out there just minding my own business. And all of a sudden, I'm told that the president is redirecting my submarine to a new deployment area, maybe even telling me to target my warheads. I mean, we don't know. All the warheads should have been detargeted a long time ago because we don't want inadvertent launch. But what did the president now say? Not only are we redeploying them, but you're now going to have a Russian city targeted to each one of these warheads. Who knows what's going through this man's head? But the president did this publicly. So now I'm the Russians. And I go, okay, guys, start looking for an Ohio-class submarine moving. Because when an Ohio-class submarine's on station, it's sitting at the bottom of the damn ocean and it ain't moving. It's avoiding detection altogether. You don't want to be moving this submarine because it can become detected. Now, if I'm the Russians, I'm looking for this thing. The Russians have some very good submarines. And if they locate it and trail it, now they'll follow it to its new deployment area. And if it makes a threatening move, the Russians will sink it immediately. I mean, this is how dangerous this is.